that red-haired Super Saiyan state. For Vegeta, it's a shining red beacon of what he thinks he's lacking. Goku has access to this form not because he's necessarily more powerful or more talented than him, but because he suspects that he's a better person than he is.
I will concede, this is very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I, the TSO Sage, have discovered a video by Totally Not Mark, and he has decided to be the Totally Not Mark and rewrite Dragon Ball Super from the very beginning. True story, I discovered this on accident. I do my due diligence to search up YouTube and shit like that to stay tapped into all of these things. And around 10-11 minutes in, so I'll briefly go over the first 10-11 minutes. If you wanted the full video reaction, I'll be blunt, gang. I don't fake reactions. I know some of you guys are used to YouTubers doing that. I'm not them. So I have seen the first 10 to 11 minutes of it. I'll briefly skim through it. From what I remember, I was tired, so if I end up watching all of it, cool. But essentially, he's going to deadass like change the story while being honest with it, and I'll let him say that in his intro. But it's essentially Mark rewriting Dragon Ball Super. It's actually a fun concept I thought about doing. He just beat me to it. Subscribe for more. Let's go.
I will be altering and rewriting every arc of this modern story, which means everything from 2013's Battle of Gods all the way to Superhero in 2022 is totally fair game. Almost a decade's worth of story. Now, that's not to say that I'm aiming to change absolutely everything about this either. Similarly to my GT rewrite, my aim is to keep as much as I possibly can in order to preserve the soul of this series longtime fans love. Right. And also so I don't have to work as much, but mainly the first one. Once all...
Nah, it's the first one. It's a joke, but it's the first one. Yeah, you don't want to I hate in What If sometime, and I will do it. Hey, gang, y'all can fuck with Mark. Y'all can fuck with your fan manga, fan animation, whatever. Y'all know me, gang. I don't give a f. If he makes characters seem way too fucking weird, I gotta call it out. I'm not gonna lie. If Goku don't seem like Goku, hey, y'all can't glaze him because he's one of us. Nah, nigga. Keep the same energy like you would if that was Big Tori, never the little one. RP Tori.
That is done, and I know what I'm keeping. I will then attempt to trim and alter some of the less savory moments. We all know what they are. And hopefully, once all of that is changed, the final result...
I do hate that moment. Can we go back?
All know what they are.
I hate this. I hate when Dragon Ball does that. And I don't use the word hate lightly, but I hate when Dragon Ball does shit like this. And it's not even just Resurrection F, as someone mentioned. No, when Dragon Ball Super did this thing of just, hey, remember this? You remember when that happened? No, I hate that shit. There can be don't get me wrong. I believe that narratives can come full circle. I don't disbelieve in things like that. I believe there's a situation where Gohan stands in front of Piccolo and gets fucking shot through the chest, and that could possibly work or anything like that. As hype BC as it sounds, things like that can work. But when you have, Vegeta blow himself up again, I hate when that shit happens.
And hopefully, once all of that is changed, the final result will be something that feels like Super without as many of its drawbacks, and a blueprint for a story that grants fulfilling roles to supporting characters that were otherwise neglected. For complete transparency, despite my criticisms in the past and the faults I believe this series has, I do, in fact, have a big soft spot for Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball GT, despite its clear upsides...
Oh, Mark, no, what have you done? Oh, no. No, I just wanted one Super video, not to... No, I forgot he said this. I gotta play it. I already know what he's about to say. I just didn't want to intertwine them. Oh no, the comment section's not even gonna be about the show anymore. It's just gonna be about, oh no.
Dragon Ball GT, despite its clear upsides, represented for me a deflating end to the most formative story of my childhood, Dragon Ball Z. Whereas Dragon Ball Super, despite its shortcomings, represented a rebirth and promise for more and more.
Oh fuck, I am an instigator, go. The GT fans, get up!
More than that, facilitated a window through which I could kickstart my career online. I owe a lot to this show, and so it's getting my maximum effort today. So, just like I did with Dragon Ball GT, I am now going to go
also implying that you didn't give your max effort to GT.
Through the early Super material in order to identify the elements people love and preserve them as best I can for my eventual rewrite. First up is Battle of Gods 2013.
Okay, predictions. If I had to change anything about Battle of Gods, I know what he does here, so I'm going to stay away from his idea. If I had to change anything about Battle of Gods just to pick one thing, maybe like the transformation fails or something. This is just off the dome. I really love it. I really love the shit. But maybe like the transformation fucking fails, right? Or like everyone thinks it fails and Goku's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna fight him. But then like Whis is like, that shit ain't fail. Like, hear me out. I don't think I'm cooking here. I don't think I'm cooking. This would not be in my rewrite. This is literally off the dome. That's going to be the challenge here to see if I ever cook. But like maybe during the ritual, Goku does get stronger. Like you kind of know how like they had the failed one the first time. Maybe that's just like the second time something clearly different is going on. But then he kind of like flashes and disappears. And it's just like he's still in base and everybody's like, the fuck? But then whole time Goku's like, wait, no, something's off. Like what the, like I feel... No, this feels weird. No, fuck you. Goku just is like, after the ritual or whatever, he still has black hair and shit. He's just like, I feel weird though. Like I know nothing changed, but I fucking feel weird. And then next thing you know, they start boxing and shit like that. Turn Super Saiyan, the fight gets really good and anything. And then when Beerus is about to blow up the planet, he turns God or whatever. I don't think that's necessarily better than what we got, but that I would maybe reveal the form a little bit differently. I think the issue with God more than the reveal, to be honest, and I am just yapping. But a bigger issue with God is just its longevity in the story, right? Not necessarily its reveal. So maybe attacking that reveal wasn't the best choice, but I'm just trying to think of a random change off the dome. And the point of this is to see if I ever indeed cook in a matter of 2 minutes.
Know if this is a controversial take, but in my view, Battle of Gods might be the best Dragon Ball film. Yes, I know this is titled as a Dragon Ball Z movie, but that was before Dragon Ball Super even existed, and it very clearly is part of the modern Super storyline. The anime even has it. So what do I want to keep? Well, the better question might be, at least for this film, what don't I want to keep? Its characterization is on point. It does a tremendous amount.
Okay, that's probably a better situation to put me in. What would I take out? I would say either, honestly, okay, this one I think is a better cook. Fuck the Boo pudding cup situation. Fuck it. Don't need it. Don't need it at all. We can still have Vegeta crash out on Bulma because you could get to Bulma getting mad at Beerus and smacking him in multitude of ways. But fuck the part where Boo licks the pudding cup or whatever. Just fuck that shit, right? Have these niggas have done everything right the entire time, and then Beerus just is like, yeah, you know what? No. Where's the Super Saiyan God? And he just gets mad. Yeah, honestly, it's not that I think it's ass or bad, but I think that would honestly just like characterize Beerus a bit more. Maybe that's wrong because you could argue Beerus crashing over a pudding cup would be a thing, but I'd rather just Beerus just really wanted to see a Super Saiyan God. And he's just like, you know what? Nah, fuck this shit, bro. Like, where? Man, fuck this shit, bro. Where's the Super Saiyan God? Not the biggest change, because the story doesn't necessarily change, but I think it's just a small little thing that I would take out.
Of narrative heavy lifting without feeling bloated or slow in its exposition. And of course, you have some terrific action sequences with a brand new transformation that was informed by strong character.
But someone in the chat said, yo, or he gets mad at Vegeta's stupid ass dances. Hey, no. That's low-key gay. Yo, instead of what we both talked about, bro, Vegeta's dance is just like the most offensive shit in a different timeline or a different planet. Vegeta just did like some religious ass shit in the most disrespectful way, and Beerus is just like, what the fuck? Just like maybe doing this is just mad offensive to gods, and Beerus just loses his shit because Vegeta's just doing it in his face. Yo.
Writing also.
The bingo
but
dance
I do have
is
some
just
ideas.
Disrespectful now.
Instead of slapping this at the start of my rewrite and calling it a day, I want this rewrite of Super to kickstart my first major fix to arguably Super's biggest issues: its lack of story cohesion and long-term character development.
Okay, I love that. I love that diss to Super. Guys, when you rewatch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and he says this in the video, mild spoiler, but I've said this before too, so it's not necessarily me stealing his take. But when you watch original Dragon Ball Z, and then compare it to Super and GT, what's the biggest difference? Because even Delilah does this better. But the biggest difference is not episode to episode necessarily, but arc to arc. you could kind of just spawn anything there. It's always kind of like a reset. It's like, okay, gang, we killed Frieza. Whoa! Oh shit, Trunks is back from the future. Okay, gang, we beat Zamasu. Whoa! Oh shit, it's trying to fight Jiren. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like versus original Dragon Ball has a situation of, because this happened, this led to this, and then because they've been training, now they're gonna go to a tournament to test said strength, and then because this happened as a result of that, Goku was trying to do this, and then he met this nigga, and because he met this nigga met this nigga, all these other things. You could argue the most iffy one perhaps is Red Ribbon. The start of Red Ribbon maybe is the plot hole in that. I disagree, but maybe. But everything else, especially Dragon Ball Z, everything is tied until the Buu saga. And Super and GT just the entire time. Yes, there's certain strings, but if I had to criticize really Super more than GT, to be fair. Yeah, Super, you could spawn any arc in out of order, make the power levels make sense, and there you go.
Story cohesion is less a criticism of Battle of Gods and more so a far-reaching issue the majority of Super suffer
way
from.
more than GT.
Generally in storytelling, one of the many markers of a great narrative, and indeed some of the very best Dragon Ball stories, can be seen through how they are stitched together by a series of events.
I knew he would say this,
so
I'm gonna let him say
I like
it
to call
too.
this approach and therefore storytelling. Think of it like this, for example. Goku and Piccolo kill Raditz and reveal the nature of the Dragon Balls. And so therefore, Vegeta and Nappa overhear this news on their scouters. And so therefore, they travel to Earth for the Dragon Balls, willing to kill everything and everyone in their way. Because of this, Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, and everyone prepare for their eventual arrival. The story literally continues on like this all the way through the Saiyan, Frieza, and Cell arcs. There are, of course, some hiccups in the latter's material, but I'm also not making the argument that Dragon Ball Z is perfect either. What I am looking to add to this rewrite is a sense of continuity. I want to blur the lines between each arc such that the story feels less like a series of individual island arcs and more so a complicated ongoing story with natural cause and effect. And to help achieve that, I want to add substantial character development, starting with Gohan.
Oh,
before anyone.
Okay, Mark, you are playing with fire. I just want you to know, you're playing with fire. These Gohan fans. There's two ways you go about Gohan. Again, I watched to around the 10, 11 minute mark, so I know which way he goes. There's either the way he's going to take it, or you just make Gohan not a bitch. You just, hey, you got Gohan just, tight shit.
One loses their mind. I am not about to make the argument that...
Or you make him a completely fodder motherfucker that never trains ever again and, like, never has that will to train ever again, and he just gets cooked. You could do that.
Gohan doesn't have a place as a family man or a scholar. In fact, my position is quite the opposite. I think if anyone were to look back across the entirety of Gohan's story, it's impossible to divorce his desire to protect his friends and family from the actions he's famous for. He goes to Namek for his friends and family. He's the first person to land a clean strike on Frieza, all because he's motivated to protect his friends and family. Everything this kid does, all the way up to his big moment in Cell, was in the name of those he cares about explicitly. It's foundational to his character, so instead of yeeting it, I want to leverage it like Toriyama did. Perhaps instead of having absolutely no story at all for Gohan until the universe survival arc, his story can be about the struggle he experiences trying to balance the life he has with the heavy responsibility that comes with being one of the only people with the potential to make a difference. And yet,
so kind of like what you... I forgot he did this now. Oh my God, thank you. I've been telling you niggas, your version of main event Gohan is fucking Spider-Man, and these niggas just have aneurysms every time I say it. I'm like, holy shit, you just like Spider-Man. It's not that this is bad, but this is just what I'm saying. Oh, Spider-Man. like every time.
Yes, that is basically the story of Spider-Man, but honestly, it's appropriate given who we're talking about here.
I fuck with you so much, Mark. And maybe it's the fact that it's a different voice. See, I've been on the internet long enough to know this. Sometimes you need what's called confirmation bias to believe in what you say. But then sometimes people need confirmation bias to believe in what you said. What I mean by that is sometimes, and I really dive into it, fuck it. Sometimes when I was a basketball creator, right, I would say some shit about the basketball community or whatever the fuck going on, and I'm stupid. Instantly stupid, no one thinks that. If a bigger YouTuber said the same thing, oh, that nigga's a genius. And it's happened in the anime community too. There was a take, I forgot what it was, but I remember when I had said something prior to watching this Swag Kage video. 20 minutes later, Swag Kage says verbatim of what I said, and everyone's like, oh shit. Okay, never mind, you might have cooked. What the fuck? So the same sentence is just better now? Just aura diffs. It's just like, what the hell?
Quite auspiciously,
Man.
Battle of Gods is the perfect...
Because you don't say it properly? No. I'm telling you, I forgot what video it was. On everything, it was the exact same sentence. That niggas was like, I'm like, I said this shit like, what?
place to kickstart this brand new journey for him. While Gohan was the most powerful by far during the closing moments of the Majin Buu arc, the events of Battle of Gods are 4 years removed from those days.
By the way,
4 years Gohan is focused on what he cares about most, his
intro.
family and the life he wants to build with them. Unfortunately, just like the film, Beerus arrives. However, before we get into that part of the story, we gotta first talk...
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. By the way, yeah, I like the fact that he's going to make Gohan a scholar again. I don't like the Gohan fans that are mad that Gohan doesn't like fighting. Gohan shouldn't be a character that likes fighting. When has Gohan ever had joy in violent fighting? He's had joy in training with his father, and that's mainly because it's something his father likes to do. But Gohan's never been a guy, or training with his friends, because it's something his friends like to do. But outside of training, Gohan has never been the guy that's just like, hey, you want to beat up Goldo? Just because of vibes, you know?
About Vegeta. Unlike Gohan, Vegeta isn't...
Okay, I don't think I remember anything he says about Vegeta. So this is a fresh watch. I think this is around where I stopped. If not, it's a little bit more. Maybe I'm forgetting. I like Vegeta in this movie, though. I think the only thing is maybe you expedite the same way you expedite in Gohan's story. You expedite the path to power for Vegeta. Oh, I remember what he said about Vegeta. Never mind. I just remembered. That's not it. That's not what it said. That's not what he does here, though. I'll let him cook.
Exactly a character I can point to as one.
But that's what I would do. Me personally, if I had to change Vegeta in Battle of the Gods or make a change here, I would be like, okay, Vegeta had literally seen Goku turn Super Saiyan 3, and that's the last form he wants. He just does not want that shit. And furthermore, he's determined to like find his own exclusive power-ups for the most part, because up to this point in the series, he's just basically chased Goku in his transformations. Goku has Super Saiyan, he gets Super Saiyan. Goku has Super Saiyan 2, or Gohan has Super Saiyan 2, he gets Super Saiyan 2. This time, Vegeta's either determined to either be the first to have the next big transformation, and if that's not possible because he's not strong enough or not in the opportunity, he's going to have his first unique one.
Didn't get enough love in Dragon Ball Super. Or is he? He's certainly the recipient of vast amounts of screen time and story involvement, essentially being the series' co-main character alongside Goku. However, even if we ignore the obvious low-hanging fruit of Vegeta always playing second fiddle to Goku, I do have my issues with his treatment in Dragon Ball Super. And that issue is, he doesn't really have an arc? At least...
Yeah, that's fair. For the most part, Vegeta's like, I say Goku is a self-actualized character in Super to explain why he regresses as a character is because Goku doesn't have anything left to prove and he's just searching for a path to power. Vegeta's just like, just a chill guy in Super. That's fair.
At least not for a very long time.
Yeah,
he definitely has moments where he establishes a goal and achieves them, sort of, but that's not an arc. What I'm looking for is an emotional journey that feels like a natural consequence stemming from the events of Majin Buu. In Z, Vegeta morphed over time throughout the story. From a psycho during Frieza, to a pathological narcissist during Cell, to a troubled and deeply conflicted man in Buu. His story cannot end there. He might have told Goku, you are the Dragon Ball Z or some shit like that, but what he did at the World Martial Arts Stadium...
What?
Borders on unforgivable.
Yo, I've seen this video, but just to paint the scene for you all in case I laugh at a joke or something like that, I was watching this video playing Rivals. I'll be blunt. Which, by the way, brief intermission, editors, you can cut this if you're lame. Chat, best ult in the game? That isn't the best ult in the game? Because obviously there's meta picks, but I'm not going to lie. And I'm not even good with this hero, but I'm not going to lie. When I hear this shit,
Armed and dangerous!
You're just like, oh shit. Okay, cool, fine, whatever.
Again!
So big. That shit is so tough. That shit is so tough.
Horrifically killed, not just in front of his wife, but inches from claiming her as collateral damage also. So all I'm saying is, perhaps there's something to build from here. Bulma seemed to have accepted Vegeta back as he is following Kid Buu's defeat, but who's to say that Vegeta forgave himself? One of the most interesting narrative choices made for Vegeta's character during Super wasn't even in the anime. It came from the Moro arc.
Yeah.
Within the pages of this story.
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't spoil everything he did. He says at the 11-minute mark because he does go a slight different direction to me. I'm expediting Vegeta's path to power. He's kind of gonna take that, but give a reasoning for it too, because yeah.
Is the answer to an issue I've had with Super since it began, and it came in the form of redemption and reconciliation for Vegeta.
There you go, I paused too
Confronted
early.
with the Namekians he terrorized all those years ago, Vegeta is filled with a profound sense of responsibility and purpose as their protector.
And this was one of the cooler parts of the Moro arc. I do remember this scene. I just didn't know if it was Moro or Granola. Again, before you guys start, I read it once on stream. Light bright as shit, camera, room hot as hell. Gang, I didn't have time to exactly. But yeah, outside of just confusing which arc it was in, yeah, that scene where he's just in front of a bunch of people that he just like fucking blitzed the last time he was there, I was like, damn, that's kind of fire. Like, atone for your sins again, nigga.
The sins of his past weigh heavily on his conscience and inform a lot of the decisions he makes in that story. So I say, why not take that concept, expand it, and give it room to breathe across the series? Maybe in Battle of Gods, before Vegeta fails to defeat Beerus, perhaps he overhears Bulma talk about Goku, reassuring everyone not to worry because Goku will come to save the day. He always does. I think this is an interesting angle, if nothing else.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a divorce, though. Mark, I like what you're trying to cook, but that's an instant divorce. If I'm strong as hell, and you're like, I can't wait for Goku? Oh, that's a divorce. Bulma, you better not say that shit. Hey, L-wife. I'll go a step further. L-wife. If you say, where's Vegeta, and then Vegeta gets his ass kicked, okay, where's Goku? Fine. She can think it. We're allowed to be humans, but there is no way I want to hear that shit, bro, from my wife. Hell nah.
Else to take his character.
Imagine your wife saying, wait for another man to save the day. Thank you, bro. Like, we ain't not about to be Chat, don't hit me with an acute, obtuse angle just because you trying to get a point across, bro. Your wife asking for another nigga to save the day is absurd.
Maybe through acknowledging Goku as, quote, the best in Buu, a natural evolution of that idea could see Vegeta chase Goku in a totally different fashion. Not for his power specifically, but for the security and trust such power can bring to those he treasures most of all. He wants to be more than what he was, and he wants to be someone Bulma can turn to as her first port of call. And if you don't think such a story is in keeping with Dragon Ball at all, I'd like to point out that a scene exactly like that which I described takes place during the Goku Black arc. So, now that we know what—
several scenes like that during the Goku Black arc. I think even in Dragon Ball Z, even it hints at times that he's bothered every time that someone mentions, hey, Goku will be here to solve this. Vegeta will quickly go, I'm right here. Vegeta does this like many times through the series.
My goals are for these characters. How do I want to change the makeup of Battle of Gods?
Last pause, because I'm about to be where I said, okay, Ferb, let's react on camera. Hot take though, and this is a change. I finally got a change that I'm proud of. Let's run with Mark's idea. But Vegeta doesn't say shit. Nope, I don't want no monologue. I don't want a speech. I don't want none of that. Nope. Vegeta sees that shit, nods, walks away. That's it. That's the manga panel. I don't want WWE promo Vegeta anymore. I don't want Vegeta spoon feeding you what he's thinking. Nope. Let's change some shit. Let's change some shit. Let's have Vegeta at this point in time. He hears that and he's just like, okay. and we get a reveal in like one of the biggest fights in the series. We just see Vegeta just start low-key training his fucking ass off for somewhere in the cut. Like drop hints that during certain events, Vegeta is busting his fucking ass training in X, Y, and Z or whatever the fuck, which is normal, but like have dialogue that, yeah, Vegeta's working way harder than usual. Vegeta's working way harder than usual or whatever fuck, like type shit like that. To really emphasize that Vegeta's working much harder behind the scenes or whatever, and then in the next big fight or whatever, whether it's Beerus or whatever future arc, hey gang, then you might have Vegeta say, I'll never let them hear this. I was working for my wife and kid.
Facilitate this change. The answer comes in the form of 2 medium-sized changes and 1 small one. We'll start with the small. Upon Beerus,
what did ChatGPT try to hack my stream?
How do I want to change the makeup of Battle of Gods to facilitate this change? The answer comes in the form of 2 medium-sized changes and 1 small one. We'll start with the small. Upon Beerus and Whis' arrival on Earth, I'd like Whis to immediately take notice of something unusual. He might say something like, well that's interesting if not alarming.
W voice actor Mark.
I can't say it's not surprising given the state.
And this is why I
Didn't do the rewrite.
Chat, I'm afraid of, like, as the anime guy, I'm already pretty cringe, and I've introduced my channel publicly before, and I cringe every time. Chat, I think I go to the point of no return if I start voice acting, bro. I think at that point, I'm at the point of no return, bro. I lose all my cool points, all aura, all whatever. I think it's like, damn. He's a braver man than me. I don't think he's cringe for doing it. I'm just afraid, man. So that's why I never really launched this video. I thought about doing it.
State of the planet, a cluster of Saiyan.
Do a Beerus? Fuck that. I'll do you one better. I'll do a Goten. My show.
During this exchange, I don't want them to specify what it is they're speaking about, but it will all become clear later, I promise, in due time. Now, for the 2 medium-sized changes. In the name of preserving as much of the original story as I can, I found a single scene that can be leveraged to inform the characters of both Vegeta and Gohan at once. And that scene is the Super Saiyan God ritual. In the original scene, the Super Saiyan God ritual requires 5 righteous Saiyans to pour their hearts or inner light into another. However, if I change that number from 5 to 4 righteous Saiyans...
Fuck, I thought fuck. Oh my god, if he had deleted Goten, I would have lost my shit. Oh my god, I wish he deleted Goten. Oh my god. If he By the way, this is around where I turned it off and said, wait, I probably should react to this on stream. So from this point on, anything he says is relatively new information to me as well. Here we go. Editors, appreciate you for trying to fix that 40-minute yap fest.
Oh dear, we did a lot of yapping.
But subscribe for more.
Suddenly, I can inject a brand new kind of tension. Now the number of Saiyans available isn't the issue, it's the righteous part that's being called into question concerning one character specifically. Vegeta. Perhaps instead of even entertaining the idea of facing the answer to that question of whether or not he's worthy, Vegeta dodges it entirely and jumps to another solution. Fusion Kakarot, he screams. The very notion that someone like Vegeta would even consider such an approach speaks to the level of certainty he has about his own lack of righteousness. But before Goku even has a chance to turn down Vegeta's offer, that's when Videl speaks up about Pan. This moment both creates...
So you don't even get the scene where everybody tells Vegeta he's a good guy, which felt weird and forced at the time, but I see how that's a domino. If Vegeta never has that, like, affirmation that, I guess I have changed. I guess I have atoned. Because for all we know, Vegeta did that and nobody saw him. The only person that knew of it is Piccolo, and like people saw it, but like people don't know his thoughts or whatever. The only people that like know what the fuck he did, why the fuck he did it, I want to say is Piccolo, Krillin, and the gods that were just lurking, and Goku, unironically, which is crazy because Goku didn't get the chance to speak here. So yeah, Piccolo, Krillin, Goku, and the gods know. The other gods ain't here. Piccolo never fucking talks, and Krillin would never speak up, and even if he thought about it, Vegeta would just press him. So yeah, this makes sense that Goku never got the chance to speak. Videl and I like this. Good shit.
An opportunity to sideline and isolate Vegeta through a significant insecurity he has, all the while placing Gohan into a sobering state whereby he's forced to reflect upon the last few years. Beerus, threatens the very planet his daughter is about to be born into, and not he, nor Vegeta, or even Goku could stand a chance of stopping him. For the last 4 years, he's largely coasted along, fully believing that no one could possibly challenge his father, and yet Beerus did. And more than that, Goku didn't stand a chance. Had Pan not made her presence known to the group there and then, maybe they'd all be dead now. And undeniably, it would be partially his own fault for not preparing. Pan saved them. It's Gohan's turn now to make sure she never has to do that again. From here...
Type shit. Okay, Peter. Here's my thing. You're gonna credit Pan and Gohan for saving the Earth? You know it takes two to tango, Mark. You know it takes two to fucking tango, Mark? What I'm trying to imply is, what about Vidal? He's sick of these fucking Dragon Ball YouTubers.
The story of Battle of Gods can continue as normal. I think the addition of these extra scenes imposes at the very least something interesting to build off of. And so, now that we have the character explanations out of the way, going through the next 2 arcs should be a lot faster. However, unlike Battle of Gods, I do have substantial critiques for Resurrection F.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think so as he skipped through Battle of Gods, that's why like my cookup of Battle of Gods is weird as well, because Battle of Gods is a setup arc. There's not gonna be any instant payoff here. You shouldn't have a situation where Vegeta beats Beerus, Vegeta becomes a Super Saiyan God, Gohan just goes, Goku, stop, wait a minute. Let me be the Super Saiyan God. No, they shouldn't have any of these things. Gohan and Vegeta should definitely be learning lessons here. Especially given that he hasn't said anything bad thus far. I don't think Mark has burnt the stove at any point in time thus far. Gohan should have been, even as early as like, the start of this arc damn near, should have been like, damn, I could have protected everyone and I didn't. I'm gonna need to get my shit together, and I'm gonna need power because I almost lost them. The fact that he has to relearn this lesson in Battle of Gods is fine. Maybe you could think Boo is an anomaly, and maybe that's the way that you're gonna go about it. But certainly after Beerus, you would think Gohan is just like, okay, no.
And on the subject of movies, do you know how insanely frustrating it is to see headlines about your...
Yep, I also know how insanely frustrating ads are and not getting sponsorships.
But unfortunately, that's not me. This video is sponsored by...
Juice WRLD. This video is sponsored by Juice WRLD. It's time to look at our bank account. Look at the cash amount. I get the cashing out. I should be crashing out, you know what I'm saying? If you use code SAGE999, you will receive 100% off on the subscribe button that will allow the channel to grow, allow the views to grow, and allow the community to get better. Again, that's code SAGE9999. Comment it below if you made it this far. It's been about 46 minutes of footage, probably about 30 minutes of actual video time, maybe even 20. But alas, take care, stay blessed. We're going to continue this video.
While Battle of Gods enjoyed some subtle changes that offer supporting characters opportunities for long-term storytelling, I don't think Resurrection F is a particularly great film. It certainly has some great moments to it. Goku's one-inch punch was cool, Vegeta's beatdown of Frieza was great, and there were some other stuff too. I'm sure of it. Heck, unlike many keyboard warriors from the mid-2010s, I have since become a fan of Frieza's second run in the franchise. It is awesome, and I will not change much about it. Instead, my issues with this film largely...
Yeah, don't fuck with Frieza post this shit. No. Frieza here, you can tweak a little bit, maybe, depending on how smart you want to be. Also, oh my God, he can just rewrite Frieza's potential. Oh shit. But I doubt he does that. But yeah, no. I wouldn't fuck with Frieza too much here either, but you can a little bit more than Tournament Power. The point is, Tournament Power Frieza's fucking fantastic. Don't change anything about that nigga.
Reside within its structure and execution. Broadly, the key difference between Battle of Gods and Resurrection F is that Battle of Gods is a story supplemented by action, and Resurrection F is practically the opposite of that. It's one big fight surrounded by many little fights surrounded by even littler moments of setup and resolution, and that's kind of boring. But thankfully, we have the power of hindsight on our side, plus the character arcs I spoke about earlier, which will help too. But before...
Yep. Furthermore, you guys know what my change to this arc would be. I've said it a million times on this channel. I said it about an hour ago on the stream, if you were already in the stream. Hey, about to say it again. This is easy. You see this right here? Hold on, let me go back.
We dive in.
You see this power up? Yeah. His hair turns red. If I had to bid one change, his hair turns red. 2, he just wins. That's it. Literally, why does it turn blue? What does it do for the story? Nothing. Well, but it's a weaker form. Make it stronger. That's it.
Please understand that these changes are going to be more substantial than that scene in my Battle of Gods rewrite. And I'm going to start by trying to think of a way this film can be informed by the last. And to do that, I gotta ask myself one question. What are the consequences to Battle of Gods? Well, Beerus is awake again and therefore is back to destroying planets, which, given the Frieza Force is an intergalactic fleet, is honestly...
Oh, in case he claims it, because I want to claim this too. Another thing, my change is not even a hot take. I think everybody will like this. Yeah, get rid of the Goku off guard shit. I don't know where I hate that shit so much, bro. It was so boo-boo. It was so boo-boo that, like, yes, Goku has been a character. You can have Whis even say it and Goku would be like, really? I never thought that. And perhaps Goku's on guard here. You can just make Frieza beat up Goku at some point in time. Like, it's not that hard. He's stronger. Do whatever you can to get the result where Vegeta needs to tag in. That's fine. Or just have Vegeta fight him off rip because he's fucking Frieza. Fuck him. It came down to rock, paper, scissors. Regardless, I detest how Super made Goku like an off-guard merch. Like, when did that even happen? Sure, you have a certain scene like Goku sleeping next to Krillin in Super Saiyan getting hit by a rock. Ha as that is. Reality is, nigga, yeah, I guess I didn't expect Krillin to hit me with a fucking rock on the forehead. And it also shows that, hey, this key is a matter of like mental focus and shit. But when you go as far as to say, yeah, Goku, you're just always lacking, it makes me think that, oh, so Frieza's a fucking moron. So Cell is even dumber. Boo, okay. But still, it was just so weird to just randomly emphasize that Goku is a character that gets caught off guard all the time. Yeah, again, yes, you may point to specific moments where it's happened, but it was never as egregious as it is in Super, and especially in this arc. It was weird.
Kind of ideal. Let's make it so Sorbet alongside...
If Frieza shot him, I understand. Exactly. You could make Frieza be the guy to reveal it. You could make Whis say it, but like Goku not think it's the case, and then Frieza just boom out of nowhere. Because that makes more sense than some sniper guy across the map shoot Goku, and apparently he was so off guard that like, come on, man. Or maybe it'd be like Goku's still a little too naive or has a soft spot for Frieza. There's many ways that you can go about it. Then, yeah, Goku, you're just like dangerously an off-guard character. Like, oh my god, you just be lacking at times to a point where a ray gun beats you. What the fuck?
Togama and Shisami are commanding their forces remotely to make one final push in order to secure a long fought after planetary stronghold. Only for... boom! In an instant, territory, countless resources, soldiers, and artillery are vaporized, never to be seen again. Now what? Well, now we've seen firsthand why Sorbet needs to make a rash decision and find the Earth's Dragon Balls to restore the Frieza Force to that which it once was. However...
Okay. So essentially, Mark wants to introduce, because he's trying to tie the knot. So essentially, his way of tying the knot is Sorbet sees how weak the Frieza Force is. Not just randomly on some random quest, because that still wouldn't necessarily tie anything. But like, Beerus just randomly just like, oh, yeah, fuck this random shit. Like, fuck it. Which I guess works. You probably got to get a little bit more creative than this. But yeah.
Or even the wish scene itself, I want to change slightly. You see, upon the film's release, a lot of people pointed out the fact that...
Yeah, I'll be fair. You probably need to get a little bit... Let me go back to make sure I heard him correctly, because I was yapping. But I think for me, if I were to try to tie the knot, I would perhaps have it be like maybe Sorbet was already there. They just like see some shit. Like maybe they get intel on Earth. And they're like, isn't that where that guy that killed Frieza is? And then they touch down and they get the shit kicked out of them because they're like way stronger than fucking Super Saiyans or some shit. And these niggas let them go and they're like, yeah, we need Lord Frieza. Maybe something like that. So it's hard to tie the threads. Let me hear what he said again.
The Force is an intergalactic fleet. Therefore, are the consequences to Battle of Gods. Well, Beerus is awake again and therefore is back to destroying planets, which, given the Frieza Force is an intergalactic fleet, is honestly kind of ideal. Let's make it so Sorbet alongside Togama and Shisami are commanding their forces remotely to make one final push in order to secure a long fought after planetary stronghold. Only for... boom!
Okay, there we go. Okay, I see what he did. So he just... So yeah, Frieza planet F419 blows up. Okay, that's a little better, but... I misheard him. I thought he blew up a ship.
In an instant, territory, countless resources, soldiers, and artillery are vaporized, never to be seen again. Now what? Well, now we've seen firsthand why Sorbet needs to make a rash decision and find the Earth's Dragon Balls to restore the Frieza Force to that which it once was. However, even the wish scene itself, I want to change slightly. You see, upon the film's release, a lot of people pointed out the fact that Shenron only granted 2 wishes instead of the usual 3 he was capable of. Now, obviously, this has been since explained away retroactively by
Delilah, thank you. Nigga Shenron said, no new friends, no new friends, no new friends. Like, who the fuck are you niggas?
Dragon Ball Daima, but in this rewrite, we are going to be making full use of those 3 wishes.
Aww.
Wish number 1, bring Frieza back to life. Pretty standard. Wish number 2, I want to keep the joke about Shu getting the money, because yeah, that was pretty funny. And finally, wish number 3, bring King Cold back to life also.
Oh no. What have you done? Mark, what have you done? No, no. My chat perhaps is not fucking with it, so maybe I have hope for the comment section in Twitter. But, oh my God. Mark, my community, if you don't understand why this is my expression and why I can't even look you in the eye right now, gang, my brother, my community is full of every character in Dragon Ball is wasted syndrome. They've talked about Deborah being wasted, Piccolo being wasted, Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, Roshi, fucking Gohan and Vegeta. The only character they'd feel isn't wasted is Goku. If it's not Goku, they've named him. And what you've just done is light this fucking fire. My next 2 hot takes of the week, Mark, because of you, I guarantee are going to be King Cold is underrated.
Personally, I like the idea of bringing King Cold back to life for a specific reason I'll elaborate on later, but for now, let's tackle another small change with this opening. Personally, Frieza wanting revenge is a no-brainer, but I think the suggestion Frieza can make up the strength difference in just a few months is silly to the max. Why didn't he just work out before? Why didn't he just work out before?
Okay, I'm not going to be this guy, but
I kind of like that he didn't train.
I don't know. I thought Super cooked this time. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I kind of like the idea that Frieza this entire time never trained a day in his life, hence why he can't even sense ki. Granted, that's an Earthling technique, but I kind of like the idea that Frieza was like, yeah, bro, I'm hilariously stronger than everyone I've ever met in my fucking life except Lord Beerus and who the fuck, I guess Majin Buu's out there somewhere. So therefore, he just didn't train. And she's like, oh, fuck it. That's what peasants do. It's Frieza. Because of his ego. Because it's Frieza. He's the type of nigga to be like, y'all gotta do push-ups? Nigga, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, that's some shit. Frieza is literally that guy in gym class, not the guy that walks by with the backpack and says, hey, yo, let me shoot one. And then he either makes or misses it. He's the guy that sits in gym class, doesn't do anything but sleep. But then whenever you call him or whenever the gym teacher called him to try to like pick on him for not listening, then nigga does whatever athletic feat like that. Like, oh, since you weren't listening, you on a team with like the 5 worst kids because gym teachers are assholes. So you're on the team with the 5 worst kids and then Frieza wins. Frieza just catches all dodgeballs and gets them out. Or like, hey, you're gonna kick her out of my class. He gets up, home run. That's who Frieza is. And then he'd go back down, goes back to sleep because he thinks he's better than everybody. He didn't need to. So I like it. I know that's a shitty analogy, but I like that Frieza didn't have to fucking train. I like that he didn't even think about training it, damn near detested it, anything like that. I liked it. I don't know, gang, but let's see if you cook.
Super Saiyan wouldn't be a big deal then. Anyway, I think having Sorbet bring a time chamber to Frieza's attention that his forces found in the meantime is way more satisfying. Plus, they did that in the Granola arc, so why not here? But that's
spoilers?
Hey gang, I'm glad I read the manga. That was crazy, Mark. I feel like everybody knows at this point because the absurd amount of thumbnails and titles that Frieza's given the inward pass. Vegeta's hair is a different color, things like that. But not a lot of people knew that one.
That's enough of Frieza and King Cold. for now at least. In a lot of ways, I enjoyed what...
Some niggas don't read the manga, chat, and that's fine. Some people, this is an entirely different genre of anime or anime appreciation. Some people just will never read the manga. It's not about years. Some people just not gonna read it.
A time chamber to Frieza's attention that his forces found in the meantime is way more satisfying. Plus, they did that in the Granola arc, so why not here? But that's enough of Frieza and King Cold. For now at least. In a lot of ways, I enjoyed what Super did with expanding this film's material. So I'd like to preserve a lot of that training stuff too. It was my favorite part of this arc in Super, honestly. But what I would like to change is the makeup of how God Ki has worked and manifested itself in this series. Now don't worry, I'm not going to change how these Super Saiyan God forms look. Chill. Whis' training will of course focus on both...
Nah, do it, Mark. Super Saiyan Purple pops up earlier. Ego will be an entirely different color. Ego won't even fucking exist. Why not? Fuck it, right? Just give Goku like green hair this time. Like make him the real legendary Super Saiyan. Go.
Both Vegeta and Goku's ability to channel and manifest God Ki themselves. However, the results will be different. I'm not as big a fan of Super Saiyan God's implementation following the Battle of Gods film. For a while, it was simply a form attained only through ritual. That was cool. Until suddenly, Vegeta whips it out without said ritual. This isn't necessarily an issue at all, mind you, but I think treating that form with more reverence grants the narrative I'm trying to tell greater potential for drama. Perhaps once Goku arrives for training, Vegeta already had a head start with a rudimentary understanding of God Ki and how to harness it. However, his wielding of it, and this is important, doesn't result in a transformation, at least not yet. As time goes by, eventually Goku catches up, gaining some minor control of God Ki himself. However, this new ki manifests differently within Goku. For brief instances, this new ki allows him to re-transform into that red-haired Super Saiyan state himself.
Yeah, because he's already had it. Easy reasoning.
Now this does two things narratively. Firstly, it establishes the necessity for the ritual in addition to granting reverence for the form itself. But secondly, for Vegeta, it's a shining red beacon of what he thinks he's lacking. Goku has access to this form not because he's necessarily more powerful or more talented than him, but because he suspects that he's a better person than he is. In Vegeta's mind, this is a gap which exists because of a fundamental flaw in who he is as a person. Someone who is unworthy of trust. Someone who...
So you basically have Vegeta learn the strength in others a lot earlier. So this is interesting. This is interesting. I will concede that this is very interesting, because what I would do is have Vegeta find a different path to power, kind of like what Super's doing right now. What he's doing is actually the flaming opposite,
But it works.
You have Vegeta sit here and be like, "Hey, bro, what the fuck does he have that I don't? I've been practicing. I work harder than this dude. He was fucking dead, and he's here even when the motherfucker's alive. He's outworked Goku, and Goku just has the transformation that he needs just cause he's Goku. I fuck with it.
Who is unrighteous. Now naturally, time passes by and both of them gain a deeper understanding and fluency with God Ki, but while Goku has gotten stronger and extended the time with which he can operate within Super Saiyan God now, Vegeta has yet to show any comparable spoils for his labor. Now I can hear you already, let's get to the fight, but we do have some small obligatory exposition to get through first. You see, when Whis introduces the temporal do-over concept in this rewrite, he also goes on to explain that manipulating time is a serious offense within the multiverse, going on to point out that both he and Beerus have noticed significant signs of past time manipulation on Earth, with the lingering scars of past rips through space-time still persisting. Furthermore, during Whis'
Hey, I don't want to see Whis turn back time again, man. I like this to hint that they know that someone's fucked with time and only you niggas are strong enough to do it. I do like that. And maybe you, but please don't have him blow up the planet in reverse time again. I just don't want to see that shit twice, man. It makes sense, but please.
Training with Vegeta, a central motif should be that no one fighter can walk the same path of progress. Now, we will of course keep Goku's overconfidence being his largest issue and Vegeta's mental block being his inability to clear his head of distraction, always overthinking. Now, if you haven't noticed, this is very much a Vegeta film, and while Goku...
Yeah, I'm not doing... Yeah, by the way, yeah, he's focused on a lot of non-Goku here, which better or worse for the anime, right? But, yeah, no, I disagree. I think Goku's overconfidence can be a thematic, but how about Goku's overconfidence in terms of declaring victory too early, or believing that, I bet I've subdued this opponent, things like that, versus just, hey gang, it's me, Goku, type shit. Because that was so the way they executed. Even to be honest, as someone in chat said, if Frieza had been the one to shoot him, like it looks like Frieza's about to cower and go home, and then he just beams Goku through his chest. That would have been more believable than, hey gang, this nigga Goku is so off guard right now that Sorbet's ray gun in blue got him. It's just, maybe perhaps representation is the worst part. I know I sound like a somewhat hypocrite there, but if you're going to do the off-guard Goku shit, you gotta not have it look so extreme.
Goku retains all of his story beats from the film itself. The emotional narrative is centered around Vegeta. This doesn't mean Goku won't fight Frieza first. He will, just in Super Saiyan God form, and with the fighting playing out exactly as it does in the original.
Oh my god, he stole my idea.
Gohan too will have some time to shine.
He stole my idea. No, he stole my idea. Nope. Me and Mark, we cooked. Me and Mark cooked. No, but seriously, because why the fuck were they blue?
Shine. I'd like to repurpose the training sequence he went through on the lead up to the Tournament of Power and put it here, because I think it really fits. No forgetting his gi. This time, when Frieza arrives, he is prepared. The Z Fighters can have their shine and all that kind of stuff, but I want Gohan to play a fundamental role in helping ensure no one else needs to die. Just like the film, he can help Piccolo defeat Shisame, and even steps up to fight King Cold himself, fresh out of the chamber with Frieza. And get this, Gohan defeats him convincingly. Shaking.
Oh yeah, he's King Cold. My issue would then be like, why didn't he fucking stop Frieza? Because if you wrote it that that Frieza just doesn't believe training is stupid or whatever, then Gohan's here, and when Gohan trains, it's GG's. But I see what you're trying to go for.
King Cold can slowly make it to his feet, only to be shot through the heart by his own son. So where are we now? Oh yeah, okay. Frieza kills King Cold. Frieza knocks out Gohan easily, followed by Goku and Vegeta's arrival.
This is fine though. I would just have that one question of, yeah, at that point, why wouldn't you write it to where Gohan just wins? But I see, but obviously you want to continue the Vegeta story, you want to continue Goku story, things like that. It doesn't work if Gohan just wins all along. Maybe you introduce these things into the U6 tournament, but I think that's kind of a bombarding an arc with little substance with a lot of random plot lines or whatever. But then again, maybe that actually could work, because that's kind of what tournaments are for, showcasing power and shit. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that does work, but I don't know. I don't know. I think he took it back. I don't know if he made... Well, yeah, he's made Frieza fucking absurdly strong. Never mind. I'm yapping. Let's go.
Fighting time. Yay, great. Well, okay, not for Goku because... Now it's time for Vegeta's story. And this is where the biggest deviation is going to take place.
You're keeping the ray gun.
I would like to make Super Saiyan Blue a Vegeta breakthrough instead of one Goku introduces first.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy. So first of all, part-time narcissism. I said that's probably what I would do. I said earlier, if I were to write Vegeta, I would just have Vegeta do something different. Like, I saw Super Saiyan 3. No, fuck you. I see this red-haired form. I'm doing God Ki. Nope, fuck you. So I agree that Vegeta probably this does work. I'm not mad at this. I'm honestly not mad at this. The question is he the first to have tried to stack Super Saiyan onto it?
Blue, a Vegeta breakthrough instead of one Goku.
Like, is he just blue-haired, or is he the first to think of stacking Super Saiyan? Because then I'll concede it's weird Goku didn't think of that, but move on.
Introduces first. Goku's fight with Frieza can have the golden Frieza reveal, while Goku makes do with his regular Super Saiyan God form. Plus, it's more shine for that because it's kind of cool. The story of the fight can remain the same. Frieza's inefficient use of his golden form limits his stamina and opens Goku up to an easy win. Until it doesn't. But what if once Vegeta does eventually step up, he's overcome by the past Frieza throws in his face? Perhaps as he stands opposite Frieza, Vegeta tries to follow what Whis has been trying to teach him, attempting to clear and calm his mind, to focus his energy and to channel that God Ki he has only recently begun to come to grips with.
Right.
And still unable to manifest in any meaningful fashion, Vegeta's focus could be then cut off by Frieza, who reverts back to his base form and extends an olive branch, offering Vegeta the chance to join him as his new
Goku
supreme commander of the Frieza Force. However, just like the film, Vegeta throws that offer back in Frieza's face.
Right.
He says, "Do you really think I'd join you when you destroyed the planet I was destined to rule?" To which Frieza responds, I see. How disappointing. Whatever about that
You're being PC. You know what Frieza needs to say.
simian simpleton these whelps are clinging to, I honestly thought better of you than this.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, he did it. I didn't think he'd do it.
Fool's a fool. Frieza responds, I see. How disappointing. Whatever about that simian simpleton these whelps are clinging to, I honestly thought better of you than this. A fool's a fool, but I know a liar when I see one. Planet Vegeta might be gone, but I made sure to preserve you. The others, of course, were incidental, Nappa and Raditz, hardly worthy henchmen, but they were loyal if nothing else. Whatever happened to them, Prince? Ancient history. Allow me to show you something new. With his attention divided between the task at hand, the others looking on, and Frieza's pointed words, Vegeta's ki control slips, leading to a sudden but inadvertent shift into Super Saiyan 2. Ah, to think I believed you weren't all talk. Then or now, I'd recognize that glow anywhere. A Super Saiyan King who discarded every subject he had left. How pathetic. Tell me, that woman you've been keeping an eye on over there? Does she know the truth? This is the moment Vegeta...
Vegeta?
You better kick his ass.
If that nigga peeps your wife and then says, yeah, does she know that you was my bitch? you basically hit this nigga with prison rules. It's gonna be prison rule. You basically hit this nigga with the you was my bitch in the pen. What the fuck? Like, yo, no, bro.
It snaps and explodes into a violent Super Saiyan Blue transformation. Not too different to that which Goku demonstrated in the Broly film. A form that, most importantly, doesn't require any ritual. While trying to focus his energy, hearing those words, something inside Vegeta just gives way. Suddenly, he's overcome by a violent but singular focus. Torture this monster.
Oh, fuck.
Unlike the film, this is a cruel and uncomfortable beatdown. Unable to do anything, Frieza is the recipient of a vicious onslaught of attacks intent to agonize, but specifically not kill. Whis remarks, My, it seems vindictive anger is a potent method of clearing certain minds of distraction. Ultimately, Bulma can't look at this and Vegeta takes notice. Distracted for a moment by how his actions have impacted Bulma, Frieza leverages this reprieve to destroy the Earth itself, leaving Bulma alone with the others to mourn the loss of her husband. That is until Whis steps in with the do-over.
So he's gonna keep the do-over canon here. At least this do-over doesn't feel like some cheap change ass bullshit. And this is what we talk about when I say execution before we laugh at Vegeta. This is what I'm talking about. At least this doesn't feel like a lame ass, oh, boo. He didn't want Vegeta to get the W ass type of time stop thing. You've hinted Whis can go back in time. You probably had the same scene with whatever the fuck it was, ice cream or some shit. And like now he goes back and he's like, nah, that's kind of some hoe shit. Let's run it back. That definitely is better. But an L's an L, nigga.
You thought I was gonna laugh? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh dear. Goku got caught off guard. Nobody died. You died. Bulma's still alive.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I love Vegeta, man. Never change.
What might come as a surprise to you at this point is that I want this ending to play out much the same way as the original did. With Vegeta slipping, taking too much pleasure in belaboring this beatdown, and ultimately creating an opening for Frieza's last resort, the Earth's destruction, in the
Vegeta
original
just,
film, I
didn't
didn't really love this idea. I thought it was fine enough, but certainly not enough to warrant placement in this rewrite. However, if you consider how this ending hits with my changes to the story, personally I think it resonates more. King Cole's involvement in this rewrite intentionally mirrors Nappa's role during the Saiyan saga, a terrifying, powerful ally to the main threat, ultimately cast aside at the first sign of inconvenience. The speech Frieza delivers to Vegeta speaks to this mindset and successfully taunts Vegeta because a picture is painted. Frieza very clearly represents the part of Vegeta's self he resents the most. However, what saves Vegeta isn't his own efforts, it's the allies he has gained along the way. During his weakest moments in the Saiyan arc, he could only rely on his own abilities, which led to his own downfall. All the while, Goku had the assistance of several allies to turn the tables. While Vegeta might appear confused and dejected by his own lack of control following this do-over, the subtle implication that he might not notice is that he has come a very long way. No longer the isolated monster. Instead, he has since gained devoted allies that will bend time itself to help him in his most desperate of moments.
Yeah, because the whole plot device about Vegeta right now is essentially that he's a character that doesn't feel that he's a righteous man. He doesn't feel that people give a fuck about him. He doesn't feel that he's changed enough necessarily, and people don't have enough confidence in him. And whole time, had Goku gotten that one sentence out, they would. So he'd know, but he doesn't know that. So because he doesn't know that, this is kind of what the Vegeta we have today. So it works. It definitely works.
Yeah. Universe 6 tournament. All right.
So this is what I was arguing. This is what I was arguing when I said that Vegeta's, and I'm still a believer that Vegeta's hair turns red here. And maybe in the Tournament of Power or whatever, he finally just gives up trying to chase this nigga. Because me personally, I think that you can kind of like long-term story tell it up with this theme of Vegeta trying to get a new transformation or whatever. He sees red-haired Goku and he's like, fuck, I probably gotta go red-haired. And then like he didn't think of turning Super Saiyan first, and then in the Tournament of Power he does something new, and you don't make fucking bluer. You do something completely different. Maybe that's too surface level, but my God. Yeah, but in the Universe 6 tournament, there's actually sneakily a lot you can do because it's a tournament. And that's what I thought when I said, well, honestly, you can make this a situation where Gohan just beats up Frieza. If you're not going to make Frieza overpowered, I thought he was going to do that when he mentioned it. I thought he was going to do something where Frieza's not overpowered, but Frieza is still way stronger. He's a threat. However, Gohan this time, because he's not lacking, is strong enough to beat the everlasting shit out of Frieza and King Cold. Or maybe King Cold, but then have a death match with Frieza, whatever the fuck. Cool. No new transformations needed. It's just about Gohan being that guy. Then when you get to Universe 6 tournament, that can be seen as a pseudo training arc for Goku and Vegeta, who finally get their chance to shine. And maybe you reveal Blue here even, rather than that arc. That's what I thought he was going to do. But that kind of, like, this is what I'm getting at. This is a time break before a tournament. You have infinite options, infinite introductions. Hell,
Not wasting a slot on Majin Buu and then another on Manaka?
you have several things to do here. Let's go.
Alright, so what's a Dragon Ball series without a tournament or two, huh? Super Dragon Ball Heroes, that's what. Gonna try to avoid that like a forest fire. But before we launch into the tournament craziness itself, we must first consider the introduction or setup for this arc. How can we improve this iteration? In the original, Champa and Vados show up uninvited, instigating this tournament between Universe 6 and 7 for the right to claim Earth as their own. I appreciate the angle they're going for here with a mix of haha, Beerus and Champa love food and we are nothing but the playthings of the gods, but that never really landed in a meaningful way for me, so can I do better? I'm not so sure, but maybe I can use events that were established prior in this rewrite to inform the motivations for this tournament while keeping some of that humor solid. How about following the conclusion to Resurrection F, Whis reminds those around him that time manipulation carries with it a serious risk of heavy consequences, which is why to this day it strictly remains a domain of the gods. And following this, Beerus suggests that they must pay a visit to Supreme Kai. Once there, Beerus immediately cuts through the pleasantries and asks Shin pointedly when the last time he used a time ring was.
Yeah, see, boom, easy, done. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you basically just have Beerus be the lore dump guy versus one of these two. You just have Beerus be the guy, Beerus and Whis be the people that were like, yo, you niggas clearly have fucked with time or something's wrong. And then even if you don't want to be that on the nose about it, you could just have like them be like, damn, they fucked with time. Holy shit, how's Universe 6? And then these niggas go, what the fuck? Universe 6? Who's Universe 6? That's like our parallel universe. Everyone has a parallel universe type shit like that. It's easy to tie this in. Absolutely.
Shin looks confused. He keeps the time rings locked away after all, having only used them once or twice in his entire tenure.
Now what's funny is you could then instead of U6, you can basically turn this into the Zamasu arc off rip and it would kind of work unironically.
As Supreme Kai, and not one of those times was on Earth. Whis explains that at certain locations on Earth, multiple remnants of past tears through time are still present. And this is when Goku chimes in and says, oh, I know what that is. That's Trunks. Trunks did that. From here, Goku divulges all of the details.
Fight him.
Details about a future version of Bulma creating a time machine and the fact both he and Cell traveled to Earth a number of times not too long ago.
I don't know
this is, of course, extremely concerning for both Whis and Beerus. If this is all true and occurred under the watch of Beerus and Shin, there might be repercussions if it's ever discovered by Zeno. Repairing the obvious rips through space-time is not within their power, and so Beerus suggests to use the Super Dragon Balls. Through their retrieval of these balls, they come to discover Champa too is in possession of a few of his own in his universe. Not wanting to let Champa know what he wants to wish for, this could be where Champa makes the Earth wager for food and we can rejoin the original story until the tournament begins proper. And speaking of which, when it comes to the Universe 6 tournament, I generally like its framework. The knockout style structure offers some interesting flavor with plenty of
nothing's wrong with the tournament itself. It's just how it seems so, if it were gone, who cares? We need to fix that.
Exciting introductions to new characters.
And let me be clear, every tournament but this tournament does not feel that way. I repeat, every Budokai, every Tenkaichi Budokai, every Tournament of Power, every tournament in Dragon Ball, but this one has significant story substance, character substance. This is the only one that's kind of just like a brag rap fest. The closest thing we get to that is that scene with Goku and Hit just looking at the gods and they're like, yeah, nah. like I ain't rocking with y'all. We gonna surprise y'all one day because y'all are weird. But outside of that, that is the closest thing you get to that. And even that scene's played off rather comedically, where they both just glance at Beerus and then he just falls back and shit like that. They don't really harp on that enough, in my personal opinion. You would honestly forget it if I didn't bring it up. This is the one arc, I think, in all of Dragon Ball, and I'm not saying it's the worst one, but if it were gone, nothing might change, and honestly, who cares? The only thing that's wrong about that technically is without this, then the Tournament of Power stakes like that. But I'd make a severe argument that it's probably like this one outside of literally, I guess technically that's untrue because it birthed the Tournament of Power. So let me take that back. But it's close. It's so close.
Characters, plus plenty of goofs and gaps.
Incorrect,
I was tempted to dramatically restructure the makeup of the teams, but I'm so in love with Toriyama's ending with Hit and Monaka that I feel confident in some of its existing lineup. But before we get to the teams, I do want to point out that in this rewrite, the spectators that go to this tournament can largely remain the same, with the omission of the Supreme Kais as well as Bulma and Trunks. Neither of these two were made aware of the contest prior and so are back at Capsule Corp. With that out of the way, let's go to the teams.
Let's do it.
In Universe 7, we have a team of 4, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Monaka. Similarly, Universe 6 has 4 participants, Frost, Vegeta, Kaba, and Hit. Personally, I didn't see much point in dragging Boo over to this fight only to just bench him, so if he has no part to play in the story outside of a gag or two, I'm happy to make this tournament a 4v4. Plus, that means
thank you.
We can also yeet Botamo, which automatically makes this rewrite 10 times better in my book. But if you do prefer them to be in this, let's just pretend that they both failed the test and fell asleep or something. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's get on to the tournament. Round 1, Frost versus Son Goku. Okay, so with this one,
where the tournament starts,
we can keep it largely the same. Frost beats Goku in the same way he did.
What about Piccolo? Wait, did he bench Piccolo? Oh yeah, because he only did 4. Shit, GG's. Just have Piccolo and Botamo be there. Fuck it.
Round 1, Frost versus Son Goku. Okay, so with this one, we can keep it largely the same. Frost beats Goku in the same way he did canonically.
Piccolo
No one
didn't do
knows
much,
exactly
though,
what
Chad.
happened, but Jocko has his suspicions. Winner is Frost. Round number 2, Frost versus Son Gohan. Despite feeling confident that Frost is weaker than him, Gohan hesitates to engage, flashing around the fringes of the arena in Super Saiyan, avoiding Frost's attacks. Gohan is far from exhausted, but knowing how his father failed before him, he's lacking confidence in his own ability to succeed. In saying that, Frost does begin to slow down and eventually stops altogether. It's here Frost divulges his fake backstory, one that paints him as a hero of Universe 6. At this point, he knows that he's got no chance of beating Gohan in a test of strength or speed, so he resorts to leveraging his goodwill. Extending his fist as a sign of respect before their final flurry, Frost says, "You are a remarkable fighter unlike any I've faced. While it is true I cannot give up, it is an honor to have shared the ring with someone so talented." As soon as Gohan reciprocates this gesture and touches Frost's fist in a show of respect, he slowly starts to feel woozy, opening himself up to a brutal attack, both shattering his left arm and sending him careening into the bleachers.
He doesn't yell my shoulder, though, does he?
The winner, once again, is Frost. Following this unfortunate conclusion,
Just everyone over here clapping. Just, yeah, fuck Gohan.
just like the original story, Jocko's eyes see everything, which leads to Goku's reinstatement, although Gohan is far too injured to re-enter the tournament on this occasion. Round
Ooh, they gonna hate that one, Mark. They gonna hate him getting his ass beat so bad that he can't compete anymore by fucking Frost. They ooh. You gotta think these things through, man. You gotta I'd rather you just have hit fucking blitz Gohan and Vegeta. Ooh, Gohan getting fucked up. A my shoulder moment for Gohan. They might cry. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't personally have a problem with it, but they're gonna get that one. They're gonna be like, oh my god, he's a loser. You've only ruined my goat in a different arc.
number 3, Frost versus Vegeta. This fight, once again, can go exactly the same as the
keep it
anime.
the same
I have
way
no
Vegeta won
notes.
tabs.
His performance during Resurrection F will contrast this one greatly as Vegeta shows a supreme level of restraint. He accepts any terms required and takes out Frost in a heartbeat.
Yeah, GG's.
Nothing flashy or indulgent, just business. Winner, Vegeta. Round number 4, Vegeta versus Vegeta. Largely the same as the canon material, Vegeta's desire to not be anything like that which he was leads him to having a far more difficult fight than was necessary, resulting in him burning through a lot of energy needlessly. In the final moments of this fight, Vegeta starts to glow blue in a quick flash and sends Vegeta out of bounds. Following the conclusion, Whis asks Spirus what he thought of the fight. He says, it's a shame, really. So focused on what he can be without any regard for the astounding instincts that made him so surprisingly formidable in the first place. Naturally, Piccolo overhears all of this. The winner, Vegeta.
Oh dear!
Me personally. Okay.
Round number 5, Kaba versus Vegeta. I
Vegetables.
love this fight in the anime.
Oh no, Vegeta, get out of there. Oh no, if there was a change I'm making to the Universe 6 tournament, it's here. This is my change. Oh no, we don't need Kaba to learn Super Saiyan. We don't need him to nerf himself. Please, Vegeta, no. It's
Base Kaba.
please.
Honestly, it might be Vegeta's best moment in the first half of the series, given, well, that's a pretty low bar, but still. Because of how Vegeta acted in my Resurrection F rewrite, this false
can't
anger he
beat him,
lashes out at
Vegeta.
Kaba with could easily be framed as a relapse, a spiral back
can't
into
beat him.
old habits yet again. However, as everyone watching this knows, Vegeta's clearly in full control, determined to help his fellow Saiyans when and where he can. Kaba is coached into achieving Super Saiyan for the very first time and
Oh, you can whoop his ass.
simultaneously given a fleeting glimpse of a beautiful blue horizon to shoot for. Winner, yet again, Vegeta. Round number 6, Hit versus Vegeta. I really
Okay, what do? Do you make Vegeta get cooked again? Because that's what I would do. If I had to make a serious change outside of bringing Gohan here based on your continuity, I do agree with Gohan being there. I would probably just say fuck the Manaka shit, even though I like that for Beerus, but I would just like bring him along and just have Manaka sit next to him and let Piccolo no, actually, no, you're right. Yeah, Piccolo probably has to hit the bench. Damn, yeah, Chad, I'm actually on Mark's side. But Piccolo would still be there, obviously. Damn. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think honestly, he's just better off having Hit Blitz Gohan and Vegeta type shit. Make Hit look like a motherfucking force. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Because at this point, I know that sounds like Goku days, but at this point, the story has seldomly been about Goku. We've been reacting to this for an hour and a half, kind of ish, maybe a bit more a take. We've heard like 3 things about Goku this entire time. It's 3 arcs. It's been very minimal Goku here. It's actually the perfect time to give him his little moment. Just don't have him fight Hit and Base. As the Goku Glorious King guy, that was disrespectful as hell. Vegeta got fucked up in Blue. In this version, Gohan's gonna get fucked up with the potential unleash whatever shit. And then you got Goku in Base blocking hit attacks. This shit was nuts.
Liked this fight exactly as it was in the anime. If I were to change anything for this rewrite, I'd suggest perhaps leaning into the fact that Vegeta's used up too much energy unnecessarily on the road to Hit, and therefore couldn't come close to figuring him out.
Yeah, so it's less on the nose. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so for your verse, Vegeta goes, he's too tired, GG's. Gohan goes, we know Gohan's fucking strong. He just gets cooked, GG's.
Hit.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to the final fight, Piccolo could also overhear the back and forth chatter between Beerus and Whis as they discuss the prospects of losing this tournament and handing planet Earth over to Champa. I would imagine this news would be worth keeping under wraps, but it's also in character for Piccolo to share information like this with Gohan. And so, once he does understand all of the consequences and things at stake, once again, Gohan is faced with his efforts not being good enough, leaving his guard down against an opponent he could easily have bested and falling for such a cheap trick.
Like the Buu Saga. I see what he did there. Honestly, I like that. I like Piccolo being essentially an FBI agent. I had something I wanted to say, though. I feel like I would like that more if Gohan fought again and lost, though. Yeah, I'd like that a bit more if he wasn't already just eliminated for it. He was reinstated and he just lost again. So not only, and maybe it's a situation of, damn, if my arm was 100% or some shit like that, because, you know, his shoulder hurt. But same thing. You could keep it on the nose that Hit's not entirely stronger than him. He is. But you could keep it on the nose that he's not just hilariously doing them dirty, but they are indeed weaker. And because he got weakened against Frost, who he had no business being weakened by. Sorry, I couldn't speak English. Yeah, so, yeah, I like this, though. This is a small nitpick, but I like this. Good shit.
Just like when he was a kid countless times, Gohan has to hope and pray that his father has what it takes to overcome that which he couldn't.
My glorious king
Round
does.
number 7. Hit versus Son Goku. Before we get into this, I should preface that I will be slightly changing the anime sequence. But don't worry, I'm sure you're going to like it because I'm actually keeping all of it and only adding stuff to this battle. Allow me to explain. While this fight will on its own be awesome, it also highlights why I've decided to keep Goku largely the same in this series and rewrite, and why I haven't really expressed story from his point of view yet.
Okay, so before he says anything, one, I probably would have him in Super Saiyan block the attacks. Just base is crazy. But two, I'll be honest, and I had this taken a hot takes video. They put the knives to my neck. Some did try to pierce. Others actually did put it down. So I'm going to say this in a different video, a non-hot takes video. I don't necessarily think Dragon Ball Super Goku is a fantastic character. I'm not saying he's not a downgraded character, but I think there's several misunderstood things about this character. And what I mean by that is, gang, he just has absurdly stupid shit that comes out of his mouth. But outside of those absurdly stupid things, majority of it is still the Goku that we know and love. So for the most part, this same Goku is just nothing but times past. This dude, like, he's pretty much hit all of the character arcs that he's had to go through. Hence why now he's pretty much on a path to power trend, because Goku is essentially the guy that the author pretty much, like all main shonen characters, the guy that the author wants you to be. And that's someone maybe smarter than Goku. So I don't have an issue with his direction of, hey, I'm not really gonna fuck with Goku too much. Like Goku's just always gonna be Goku. It's just he's really wrote it to where it's not Goku time anymore.
The reason is twofold. Number one, I don't want to change Goku because he is sort of inherent to Dragon Ball at this point, and I don't really want to mess with that vibe. And most importantly, I think he's a terrific character to act as a comparison piece to other characters on a journey, namely Vegeta and Gohan.
Yeah,
Throughout
100%.
Dragon Ball Z, Gohan looked up to Goku as this entity that had answers to everything, even when he himself was stronger than him. For Gohan to watch Goku in this moment solve problems with a cool head and with relative ease once again places him in a position where he's faced with the fact that he has a very, very long way to go. Once again, helplessly looking on with everything on the line as his father faces the unstoppable with an enthusiastic smile. For Vegeta,
You make him go Super Saiyan 3, no balls.
with us borrowing from the manga and leveraging Super Saiyan God again, this fight will once again serve as a reminder of what he cannot do. And what's more is,
What the
Goku
PNG?
improves as this fight rages on, he learns from seeing, and most importantly, he learns from doing. And during this fight, he reveals he's capable of Super Saiyan Blue 2, but
Oh,
that's
shit.
not all. As if with ease, Vegeta and Gohan look on in awe as Goku shatters through the limits of that which each of them thought impossible.
shit.
Pushing Hit to the brink and overcoming some of the most complicated offense the series has ever seen. And while I will keep the ending to this fight largely the same too, the tone of this battle and how it has impacted those watching should be clear. The winner is Hit. Round number 8.
Yeah, that makes sense. He essentially makes it like a Vegeta, a Gohan, you. He essentially wrote it to where, because one thing Dragon Ball Super definitely struggles from is like pan aways from fights during both tournament arcs. He wrote this one specifically for these two niggas to watch Goku. As funny as trolly as I'm making it seem, no, that just rationally makes sense. For his story, he's checked all the boxes. I have little complaints about that. Yeah, if you're gonna make Goku look fucking awesome and kind of do everything with ease, it's realistic because he's fucking Goku. He was not necessarily outclassed by Vegeta or anything like that. He would certainly get blue by this point in time, and then the idea that, which he's always had the ability to, stack Kaioken. He did it, still loses. Yeah, I like this. Good shit.
Hit versus Monaka, which of
Monaka
course
wins.
is the best fight of this entire outing, complete with a wonderfully meaningful yet hilarious conclusion to this Universe 6 tournament arc. Monaka is truly the strongest of us all.
Yes.
Overall, this tournament was just a reinforcement of the prior themes and character arcs we've been carrying out over the course of this video.
It's base Kaba
Complete
than
with,
Monaka.
and obviously not forgetting, the flashy bells and whistles of Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 we all know and love. But a happy ending is not how I plan on completing this arc. Instead, amid the celebrations of the Universe 7 side, we cut to Shin in the world of the Kais. Something strange is happening. Looking down at his hand, he feels something he's never felt before. It's his ring. From here, we cut to Earth, and we see a portal open in the sky.
Oh, shit.
And from it descends a curious individual above Capsule Corp. But whoever it is, they don't seem to be flying. Seemingly unconscious, perhaps gravely injured even, the
So Trunks is
individual
there before
crashes to the
that
ground
shit.
below. On their finger rests a ring bearing a striking resemblance to that which Shin possesses. Cutting back to the tournament, the preparations are being made to summon the dragon from the Super Dragon Balls. However, Whis' staff begins to ring. It's Bulma. She's frantic. Amid the distress,
Whis with an iPhone ring is actually subtle but yet brilliant.
Trunks is back. Please, send help. And that, my friends, is where we're going to leave things off until we pick
Up and Dragon Ball fans are triggered immediately.
things up next week with the Future Trunks arc. If you don't want to miss it, consider subscribing as it helps us.
And you've already immediately triggered Dragon Ball fans. Yeah, I like this, Mark. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. You've rewritten this. I feel like he's gonna continue. Well, he said he was. So yeah, the Future Trunks saga, he's gonna have to continue this. Next time on Totally Not Super. Hey, that's what you should call it. Come on, man. Next time on Totally Not Super. Now we got these, man. Now we got these. All right, shit. Take care. Stay blessed. See you next time, nigga.